So the good news is, I'll tell you the good news. This will make you feel good about the future.
I imagine that you've seen this clip already.
Yeah, so last year, towards the end of the year, we had 2 months with virtually no strikes in October and November.
Well, that was a fortunate thing.
And do you know what happened? The waiting list fell by 150,000.
I think we will need to see some context on that. Sunak is very good at fudging figures. But anyway, that's not why we're here. We're here to watch Sunak nervously laugh in the face of this woman.
Over those 2 months. And it just shows that when there aren't strikes, we really can make progress. So we didn't last year because of all the strikes, but
you
hopefully...
You could stop it all. You could make it all go back to how it used to be, where we had, not literally, but where we had...
So why did he laugh? Well, it certainly seemed that he thought her claim was absurd and undoable. But how could he possibly have a clue about the NHS when he doesn't even use it?
Were you registered with a private GP, and are you still?
Yeah, but my dad was a doctor. I grew up in an NHS family.
Wasn't my question. It's really straightforward. Were you registered with a private GP?
I mean, I've made as a general policy, I wouldn't ever talk about me or my family's healthcare situation. But again, it's not really relevant to this. What's relevant is the difference I can make to the country.
Well, hang on, Prime Minister. I think there is huge public interest in the decisions that you make. And actually one of your predecessors, who I know you admire very much, Margaret Thatcher, she said very openly that she decided to use her right as a free citizen to spend my money in my own way so that I can go on in the day at the time with the doctor I choose and get out fast. She was perfectly happy and probably proud to talk about the decision she made. Why wouldn't you tell people if you use private healthcare?
Well, I mean, it's just a personal choice. It's about healthcare. I think is somewhat that is private. But I think what people care about is, am I going to make a difference on the thing that they care about? When it comes to the NHS, I mean, I grew up in an NHS family.
And now you're a multi-millionaire who's helping to sell off the NHS to Tory donors. And if I have to hear that Sunak came from an NHS family one more time...
I said my dad was a GP, my mum was a pharmacist, and I think my track record matters more than these things. But what I would say is that I want to make sure that we do have fantastic healthcare for everybody.
And you've made that
claim. The role
but
of
I
the
think
private
there is,
sector. But this is really important.
There is a public interest in the decisions that the Prime Minister makes for himself. Why won't you tell us whether or not you use private healthcare?
But again, it's a distraction from what the real issue is, and the real issue is, are we making sure that there's high quality healthcare available for the country? But when it comes to the private sector in general, we should be making use of the independent sector. I don't have any problem with that whatsoever. For example, with elective surgery, one of the things we do need to...
What a toad. Click on this link to hear Glenda Jackson tear Thatcher's legacy to pieces.